The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kennedy strode to the podium, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Around her, representatives from 100 worlds watched with barely concealed contempt. The Vrax delegation clicked their mandibles in what passed for laughter among their kind. Humans, hissed Commander Zelthax, his scales rippling with amusement. You petitioned for military inclusion in the coalition forces? Your species has been spacefaring for barely 2 centuries. You know nothing of true warfare. Kennedy's expression remained neutral, though her jaw tightened. Beside her, Josiah, her military liaison and the youngest general in Earth's unified forces, stood at attention, his scarred hands clasped behind his back. We've reviewed your combat records, continued the Threne representative, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into rainbow patterns. Your soldiers fight with primitive kinetic weapons. You have no plasma technology, no graviton shields. Your vessels are slow, your tactics outdated. We don't seek your approval, Kennedy replied evenly. We seek the opportunity to prove ourselves. The Kresh Armada threatens the outer colonies. We're offering assistance. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien sounds, chirps, growls, harmonic tones that translated into mockery through the neural interfaces every delegate wore. Prove themselves. Zelthax rose from his seat, his 3-meter frame imposing. The Kresh have conquered 17 systems in as many cycles. They are machines of war, relentless and adaptive. What could your soft-skinned species possibly contribute against such a threat? Josiah stepped forward. Permission to speak, Ambassador? Kennedy nodded. We're not asking you to understand our capabilities, Josiah said, his voice carrying clearly through the chamber. We're informing you that the Ironclad Legion will deploy to the Tertius system within 48 hours. You can coordinate with us, or you can stay out of our way. The audacity of the statement sent another wave of derisive sounds through the council. Kennedy hid her smile. That was exactly the response she'd hoped. 4.3 days later, the Kresh Armada descended upon Tertius Prime like a plague of metallic locusts. Their ships, biomechanical hybrids that adapted to every weapon fired against them, had shattered the Coalition's defensive line in under an hour. The Vrax fleet, supposedly the most advanced in known space, retreated after losing half their battlecruisers to the Kresh adaptive shields. The Threne's energy weapons proved useless as the enemy ships absorbed and redirected plasma bolts with increasing efficiency. All Coalition forces fall back to the secondary perimeter. Zelthax's voice crackled across military channels. This is a full retreat. Repeat, full, negative, Coalition command. Josiah's voice cut through the chaos. Ironclad Legion is engaging. From the planet's shadow emerged the human fleet. Not sleek like Vrax cruisers or elegant like Threne Star ships, but blocky, brutish vessels covered in ablative armor and bristling with what looked like ancient weapons. The aliens watching from their retreating ships couldn't help but stare at their displays in confused horror as the human vessels charged directly into the Kresh swarm. Then the Ironclad Legion opened fire. Thousands of tungsten rods, accelerated to a fraction of light speed, tore through Kresh ships like paper. No energy to absorb, no plasma to redirect, just pure kinetic devastation. Ship after ship crumpled under the barrage, their adaptive systems worthless against the brutal simplicity of mass times velocity. But the Kresh adapted quickly, angling their armor, dispersing their formations. Their return fire was devastating. Focused graviton beams that should have crushed the human vessels like empty cans, should have. The human ships took the hits, their armor buckling and burning, atmosphere venting from ruptured hulls. By any conventional measure, they should have been destroyed. But they kept coming, kept firing, kept closing the distance with terrifying determination. What are they doing? Whispered a Threne observer. Kennedy's voice came through on the open channel, calm and cold. What humans have always done. We adapt. We endure. We win. The human ships crashed through the Kresh lines, launching boarding pods. Actual physical pods filled with soldiers in powered armor. The idea was archaic, insane. No species had attempted boarding actions in centuries. Josiah led the first wave himself. His armor, covered in ablative plates and equipped with weapons the Kresh had never encountered, made him a walking fortress. The Kresh drones, designed to repel energy weapons and deflect smart munitions, found themselves facing soldiers with chemically propelled rifles, explosive charges, and close combat weapons. Inside the Kresh command ship, Josiah and his squad moved like a practiced machine. No fancy tactics, no elegant maneuvers, just overwhelming firepower, coordinated movements, and the kind of savage determination that came from a species that had clawed its way to the top of a death world's food chain. Target the organic control nexus, Josiah ordered, his helmet display marking the route through the ship's twisting corridors. Plant the charges and fall back. The Kresh tried to adapt. They reconfigured internal defenses, rerouted their drones, even began venting sections of the ship. But humans, it turned out, had millennia of experience fighting in hostile environments. They'd learned warfare on a planet that actively tried to kill them, against enemies of their own species who were just as clever, just as adaptable. The Kresh were formidable. Humans were relentless. When the charges detonated, the Kresh command ship's organic core was destroyed, sending cascade failures through the entire fleet. Without centralized coordination, the remaining ships became vulnerable, their adaptive advantage nullified. The Ironclad Legion showed no mercy to in the aftermath. The Galactic Council reconvened. The chamber was quieter now, the jeering replaced by uncomfortable silence. Kennedy stood at the same podium, her uniform crisp despite having coordinated the battle for 18 straight hours. Josiah stood beside her, his armor still scarred from combat. "You asked what humans could contribute," Kennedy began, her voice steady. "We offer what we've always had. The stubborn refusal to accept defeat. You build elegant solutions. We build redundancies. You adapt your technology. We adapt ourselves. You retreat when logic dictates. We hold the line when nothing else matters." Zelthax rose slowly. "Ambassador Kennedy, General Josiah, the coalition formally requests Earth's full military integration." Kennedy smiled. "We accept. On one condition. Next time we tell you we can handle something, believe us." The council chamber remained silent. Then, slowly, the Threne representative began a harmonic tone of respect, joined by others. Even Zelthax lowered his head in acknowledgement. The humans had earned more than a seat at the table. They'd earned something far more valuable, the galaxy's respect.